It's Gorman in the morning with Fletcher and Ryder. Now, 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS with Fletcher.
Oh, my God, you can almost feel the weekend already. Almost.
That's very true. And, of course, Ryder.
All right. Enough fun and games.
There it is. Enough fun and games.
Until first pitch at 12:10 today?
12:10 today,
then I'm
baby.
ready for fun and games.
Damn straight we are. It is a Thursday morning. It is May the 8th. A day of great personal history that I'm not going to go into. But it just now hit me.
Fair.
I was like, oh, it's May 8th. I think about a lot of things that happen on this day of my life.
Okay.
None of which are any of your concern.
Fine.
Your prying eyes. Get away from me with that.
Didn't want to know anyway.
Just responding to the things that fly through my brain at light speed sometimes.
Oh, boy.
Right now, however, I'm feeling Minnesota. Let's kick the day off with the headlines. What's happening, Paul?
I love that your brain is operating at light speed already. That in and of itself is a win.
Well, you know, we're all blessed and cursed with fairly functional brains at times.
Here we go. The Twins and Orioles did more than just play baseball together. The players and staff came together to pack 11,000 weekend meal kits for Minnesota students facing food insecurity. The event, hosted by local nonprofit Every Meal at Target Field, included players such as Pablo Lopez and former Twin Kyle Gibson. Twins president Derek Falvey praised the collaboration, highlighting the organization's dedication to giving back. Players emphasized the importance of coming together for a good cause, showcasing unity beyond the field.
Nice.
They didn't get into a food fight or anything?
That would have been cool. I mean, for social. Although when you're packing food for the needy, that would probably seem a little bit like a waste.
It would.
Ball players, they got money to cover it.
That's a very good point.
You could also prop fake food for the food fight. For the social. I mean, for the bit, right? Yeah. A Navy fighter jet from the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier fell into the Red Sea following a failed landing Tuesday. You might be thinking, hey, Paul, you already told us this. Mm-hmm. The F-18, valued at $67 million, was the second aircraft to fall from the carrier in 8 days. This is unbelievable. How is this even possible? All crew, again, were reported to be safe in both instances. The Truman has been a key component in Operation Rough Rider, an air campaign ordered by President Donald Trump against Yemen rebels.
What's that called?
What?
Rough Rider?
Yeah,
that's what he's calling
Operation
it?
Rough Rider.
Yeah, I love a Rough Rider.
Man, yeah, you do.
Operation Into the Drink is what.
Go to Canada. There's two whole teams back in the day called Rough Riders.
I don't know how that's possible. The new Led Zeppelin documentary, Becoming Led Zeppelin, will be released on June 18th in physical form. So if you want a hard copy for a collection or just don't do streaming, you've got that. It's also available now for purchase or rent digitally at places like Apple TV and Prime. And it's rumored to be hitting Netflix probably July-ish. That's what the rumors are saying.
That would check out.
Okay.
Yeah.
A new Yellowstone spinoff has been ordered by CBS. Why Marshals is in the works, with Luke Grimes returning as Casey Dutton. I didn't watch a ton of Yellowstone, but he was, I think, generally my favorite character. That dude was awesome.
Which guy is that?
Casey Dutton, the one of the sons.
Okay.
Did you watch it much?
Is he the guy that likes to shoot people and ride horses?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a Navy SEAL, and
Nailed it.
I mean that narrows it down for sure. Per the official log line, with the Yellowstone Ranch behind him, Dutton joins an elite unit of U.S. Marshals, combining his skills as a cowboy and a Navy SEAL to bring range justice to Montana. It's expected to be ready this fall.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That guy, Taylor Sheridan, is still getting work because, I was worried about him. He's only got Yellowstone and 6 spinoffs. He's got Landman. He's got Lioness. He's got like 7 TV shows running. And apparently he writes every episode, which is why.
Damn.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. Like on all those shows.
Holy moly.
But the helpful part is you can miss one and you'll pick right back up.
Yeah.
I like a show like that.
Yeah. It makes it easy. In the world of sport, you already referenced the fact that the Twins and Orioles got together and made some meals yesterday. They did play some baseball, and yet again, the Twins defeated the Orioles 5-2. This is the second 4-straight win streak in the last 11 days for these Minnesota Twins. They're starting to play baseball. Byron Buxton smacked a ball into the upper deck down the left field line in the third inning with 2 men on, and that's all they needed. Those were the game-winning runs right there. They tacked on a couple more later just because it was cool to do that. So check this out. Buxton has now homered in 3 straight games. I'm sorry. It's the 4-game winning streak. He has been the hot player. In 7 of those 8 wins, he's homered in 4 of those, and now 3 in a row. Basically, he's on a bit of a tear.
That's pretty good.
Nice.
He said, when this happens, they all come in bunches. I'm just going to keep riding the wave a little bit. This is the 4th 3 consecutive game home run streak in his career. The Twins' record for consecutive games with a home run is 5. 3 times Harmon Killebrew did that.
Wow.
Marty Cordova, Brian Dozier, and Nelson Cruz also on that list.
Okay.
So
I guess Harmon Killebrew really shouldn't surprise anybody.
let's go, Byron. Let's go, Byron. Let's have a number 4 tonight. Today, I should say, at 12:10.
Let's not get hurt.
The Minnesota Frost. You had to say it, didn't you?
You're the one that believes in jinxes.
The Minnesota
Unbelievable.
Frost started their playoffs. They lost to the Toronto Scepters 3-2. This is a best-of-5 series. Game 3 will be played at the X on Sunday. I imagine you'll be at the game, Paul.
I will be at the game. I'll be hopefully providing a soundtrack to a win.
Very nice. Finally, of course, the Timberwolves tonight. Game 2 against the Golden State Warriors. A blessed 7:30 tip-off time tonight. We'll all catch at least the first half.
Oh, boy.
That's exciting. The Timberwolves might want to follow the example set by the Oklahoma City Thunder last night after they lost Game 1 at home. They bounced back to beat the Nuggets by 43 points.
That's pretty good.
It was an absolute ass. They had 45 points in the first quarter, I believe.
That's a dismantling.
Yeah,
right
it was
there.
a dismantling. So it's certainly possible. Good morning to our friends in St. Michael. Glad to have you with us, St. Michael.
It's right in my neighborhood there.
See?
Some good spots there. The Hen and the Hog, wonderful restaurant in St. Michael.
Glad to hear it. If I'm ever out that way.
You should actually, it'd be worth the drive. You like food. It's all from like farm to table from scratch food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I do like food.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed food since the mid-'60s.
You have. That's
Hey,
great.
KQ's Bestest is on the website, 92KQRS. You can go vote for a variety of topics. Here's
Okay.
one that we need to get into. What's the best spot at Target Field from which to watch a game? Let's discuss, shall we? Go to 92KQRS.com to put in your vote. Right now, let's discuss bestest place to sit at Target Field for a Twins game. Here are your 5 options on the website you can vote for. The Home Run Porch, the Champions Club, bellied up at Two Gingers next to the stadium organist Sue,
Yeah.
Yes.
Town Ball Tavern, or the Gate 34 Experience. Any of those jump off the page at you, Ryder?
That Gate 34 one is where you play like cornhole and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They've got the bags set up. My pick, though, I don't think is on the list, but I think it's section 313.
Okay.
Where we usually get some freebie tickets, but it's right above Two Gingers with Sue the organist.
Mm-hmm.
You have an incredible view of home plate. You can see every pitch come right down, right across the plate, hopefully, if
Yep.
the Twins are pitching. And then when you get tired of looking at that, you can just walk down a flight of stairs and hang out with Sue.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good right there. I'm a big fan of being up high at the ballpark. I either want to be right behind home plate, which
Yes.
happens once every 9 years, or I just go, I like to be way up at top. And I don't care if it's behind home plate or even in the outfield. I just like to be up. I like to be able to see the entire field, take in a well-balanced, the 30,000-foot view, if you will, which is why I bought one of those condos that's going up over left field.
Oh, did you?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't. I just wanted to see your reaction.
I was just asking for an invite to every freaking concert that they do there so I can watch that stuff. Tubby already chiming in on the text line. And he says that I advised him to play hooky, which I don't think that I did. Tubby?
Oh, well, yeah, well, I'll do it now then. Play hooky. What are you kidding, man?
Yeah,
12-10
why wouldn't
first
you?
pitch.
He's shouting out Town Ball Tavern. I think
Yeah.
the nice thing about that place is that it is I believe it is climate controlled. So if it's really freaking cold in the beginning of the or end of the season,
Yeah.
or really hot in August, you've got kind of a place to escape.
The Champions Club, not been there, but would not turn down an offer from the looks of it. I had to look it up and remind myself what the hell that is. Yeah, that's, let's see, season ticket's going to run you about $34,000.
Oh!
That's all.
Okay.
For that's it. That's
no
what,
big deal.
81 games. That's it's a bargain, man. I would feel the need to make darn sure I got all the food and bev required. I'd have to make it worth my while.
Do they like valet you in too?
I think they helicopter you in. Actually, they drop you down right behind home plate on a rope ladder, and it's like a Coast Guard rescue every time they drop someone in. Fletcher, Twins guy, you like going to the ballpark?
Absolutely. Love taking the family. The Gate 34 experience is pretty cool. I mean, I just love coming in what, is kind of like the front door, if you will. The whole field opens up to you. I'm not super picky on seats. I like to wander a bit during baseball games and try to find local food that I haven't had before. Because they do kind of go out of their way to have local culinary experiences, if you will. So I like to do that. Behind home plate, though, you're right, is tough to beat. I have been in the Champions Club a couple of times, and it's as good as you would expect it to be. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Not as much wandering, though, now with these games going so quickly. I mean, it really is an astounding difference in the last couple seasons. To be at a game in 2.5 hours is now pushing it a little bit. So many games are way under 3. I can count on, one hand the number of games like in the 90s that were less than 3 hours long I ever attended. Right. I'm a big fan of it, by the way. I'm all for the pitch count.
I love the pitch clock.
The pitch clock, and the I'm like, keep it moving, man. Keep it going. Big fan.
You know what you do, though, is you get settled in, first inning, maybe second inning, get a feel for the game.
Sure.
Then you wander quickly, come back for the 7th, and you just have to walk a little faster. They're taking our health into account. The pitch count or the pitch clock is making sure that we walk faster with more purpose.
Better for all of us.
Sure.
So go to 92KQRS, vote as many times as you like on all of these great categories. We'll be giving you the results, like late next week or
May 19th.
May 19th.
Yeah, so a week from Monday.
Yeah, right on.
Pretty snappy. You don't have a lot of time to vote.
Nah, that's a good thing. So here's an interesting thing to consider. America's place in the world. And what, we know what we think of everybody else. What about what they think of us? What is it about Americans that the rest of the world finds so darn charming? If you're traveling abroad ever, you may find yourself, in a conversation with someone from wherever you are. Let's just say somewhere in Western Europe. And you notice there's some real differences. And you may notice them taking you in like, here's this American. Let's see what he's offering. I mean, I've experienced this many times. People because one thing about Americans, no one questions whether or not you're an American when you're traveling abroad.
Yeah.
We just have that I mean, there's just no way about it.
You run into somebody and they say, "Oh, where are you from?" And you say, "I'm from the United States." And they say, "Yeah, duh."
Yeah.
Where are
specify.
you from?
Yeah. Close it in. We got that. So we are, and I've traveled a good bit, and I've been with a lot of very different types of people, but we're all pegged immediately as Americans. There's just no getting around it.
You ever try and pass as Canadian?
I never have.
Okay.
I certainly know there are times and places when people feel that might be a little better. You just don't want to get grief. But here's one thing that is a dead giveaway that you are the American is you're in a conversation with, say, a cashier at a store, and they say something and you respond with a chuckle, like a laugh. Yeah, sure thing. Or, oh, excuse me, didn't see you there. And man, especially like in Scandinavia or Germany, they look at you like, why are you laughing? There's nothing funny. We bumped into each other. It was an accident. We're all okay. Just say excuse me and move on. The American laugh, the chuckle in all social interaction. And when you're somewhere where they don't do that, man, does it feel awkward sometimes.
I'm embarrassed for myself already. I didn't even realize that I do that.
Oh, we all do. It's just one of those things. But that's not to say that we aren't charming and that people from other places don't love a whole lot about Americans, our little idiosyncrasies, if you will. And here's a list of things that people from other parts of the world genuinely love about Americans. They think it's funny.
Okay.
Guilty as charged on this one. My favorite thing about Americans is how often the term football fields is used as a unit of measurement. I've been doing that my whole life, man.
Huh?
I mean, people from elsewhere look at you like, seriously? You're going to say, yeah, it's like 2 football fields away. I put everything constantly in that. That's how I look at the size or the distance between two things regularly. How many? That's like 6 football fields. Oh, my God.
I've been to Allianz Field, but I don't know how big their field is or like a pitch. Do other places do it in like their football?
I've never heard anybody say, oh, it's like 3 pitches from here. Like a soccer fan from England would never say that. Not that I've ever heard.
No, I haven't heard that.
Here's another good one. I love how Americans will make a salad where the primary ingredient is pasta.
That feels like it's directed at us Midwesterners specifically.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
I mean,
think
nobody else does that, so I can see why they might point and laugh a little bit.
Should bring him a fruit salad, and it's all marshmallows.
There we go.
I love the way Americans all have a favorite regional gas station.
That is so funny, and that's so true.
Yeah, of course.
It's incredibly true.
Mine's Holiday, and not because they pay me to say it.
That's right.
No, they've got killer bathrooms. Go to your Holiday for if you've got to take a bathroom break, even if you don't have to buy anything.
And
boom.
and you know, my wife is a big fan of that chewy nugget ice. She's all about the chewy nugget ice that you get at a Holiday, not the cubes, the little tiny nuggets.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
She rates ice regularly. You know, she'll be like, I mean, I've been with this woman over 30 years, and it'll be like, let's go. No, don't go to that one. Go to this one. They have better ice. And I'm like, what is it? It's ice. It's going to chill your drink. And she just looks at me like I'm crazy.
I'm really excited to get Rosemary Gorman's ice rankings next time we get to hang out, because this is something I'm pretty heavily invested in.
Okay. Oh,
Yes.
she'll give them to you. She'll straighten you right out.
She's onto something though too. It can make your drink better, 100%.
She can tell you which Jimmy John's have nugget ice and which don't, because they're not at all of them. I'm telling
Really?
you. How about this one? I love the way Americans decorate for every season. We do like to bust out.
I decorate for one season all year, and it's Halloween.
There it is.
We'll decorate for the least of the holidays. My wife loves to decorate.
I love how there's another one. My favorite thing about Americans, their extreme disgust for line cutters. Someone who cuts in the line. That's true.
Barges in front of you?
Yeah, cuts in any line
rude.
anywhere.
Do they just do that other places? They just don't care?
They don't really.
The line cutters, to me, it's the line cutter is the same person who will just leave the grocery cart in the parking lot.
Yeah, they are.
And I never hesitate to call that out when I see it. Don't care if you're 101 years old and using that cart as a walker. I'm going to insist that you put it back.
To me, it gives off an air of no self-awareness. Like, you just don't care about other people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm just going to stand here and pretend like I don't know that I'm standing in front of 4 people who have already been standing there, or just leaving the cart wherever. I totally agree with you on that. But I also don't notice any disdain for it. Like I haven't traveled a bunch, but in my travels, like, people cutting in lines, like, whatever. They don't even really care. It's just like, whatever. That's fine.
You two are telling me I can go over to mainland Europe, and if I see a really long line for some killer food or coffee or what, just go right to the front and they're not going to care?
Apparently, that's what that is the lesson here.
Game
you know
on.
what? I would like you to. Yeah, you know what? This is a challenge. How many lines can you cut?
I think you do have to be a little coy about it. I don't think you can just walk up and say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to pass these 30 people. You have to be a little slick. But if you just
clearly I can play the stupid American card. I don't know what's going on
100%.
here.
Well, there is.
100%.
I think there is a general vibe in a lot of places where it is more like, well, if you're in such a hurry, go ahead, man.
Okay.
Whatever,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
That's fair.
They've got a little bit more of a. We're all going to get there. We don't have to be first. There's a vibe. That's called. That's what happens when you have a culture that's 1,000 years old as opposed to a couple hundred years old. Just generally speaking, these things filter down over time. Why do we always dream about, I want to retire in the boot of Italy where they just lay around and they have a slow pace to life. It's like they're chilling, man. They've been through a lot of drama in Europe over the last 1,000 years.
Oh, God, wine country.
They're over it. They're like, we don't, relax. It's all going to work itself out.
I've been to Costa Rica, and I feel like they have that kind of same mentality, too.
Sure they do.
And they don't even bring you a glass of water until you've sat down at a restaurant for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's good.
It is crazy.
Get comfortable. You sure this chair is going to work? I don't want to waste the water if you're going to get it moved. You good? You good?
Yes.
Here's a good one. I love how Americans in movies just end phone calls without any further explanations. I noticed that, the number of TV and film scenes where someone's on the phone and they say what they're going to say and they just hang up the phone or they just turn their phone off or whatever.
Yeah.
And I only do that with people I really know well. I still have I still feel like I have to go, okay, hey, listen, man, all right, good talking to you. I have to set it up and then say farewell in some way or another. I would love to just be better at just stopping the conversation and turning the phone down. Just end it.
Just done?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the Midwestern in me that I just can't do that.
The one
Minnesota goodbye on the phone.
Oh,
Right?
It's terrible.
Imagine that when we had to pay per minute on cell phones. The Minnesota Goodbye would have cost you a fortune. The one on this list that made me laugh, because I do it, is I love how Americans greet each other by saying, how you doing, and then not answering back.
Oh, yeah, no.
How you doing?
That's exactly right.
I do it all the time to people.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'm the one that asks it, though, like, as I'm the conversation's ending, passing each other in a hall or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, how you doing? Hey, Fletch, how you doing? Or how you doing? And just leave it at that. And you don't even respond. It's hilarious.
I've gotten much better about hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man. It's just, hey, I'm not asking what's up, not asking how you're doing. Just, hey, it's an acknowledgement, and then it doesn't lead to any awkward anything. It's just like, hey, man, I see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a head nod.
Yeah. I need to adopt that because I'm still on the how's it going train.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
And you don't even want a response, Ryder. You're just saying that's just like your way of acknowledging, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. That's what I do.
There are things that obviously from culture to culture, country to country, all very different. Like, for example, if you find yourself in Turkey, sometimes you will notice, wow, it seems like everybody's really stoned. And that's because in Turkish towns, apparently everybody gets stoned together. It's spelled L-I-C-E. I don't know if it's pronounced lice or liche or however you want to say it.
I think it's Lice.
Lice.
I'm pretty sure.
That makes good sense to me. Lice, Turkey. Police seized recently a giant amount of weed, marijuana. Mary Jane, 20 tons, over 20 tons of weed.
Those fun killers.
Street value of $260 million US dollars.
Holy Hannah.
I mean, this is a whole lot of weed.
Tons.
I mean, okay, like 1 ounce is a big Ziploc bag. So 20 tons, this is trucks and trucks of weed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Again, $260 million worth. So the town, the authorities there were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to, as a show of our resilience and the fact that we do not welcome this sort of activity, we're gonna destroy all of this cannabis.
Okay.
They could have done any number of things. They could have buried it. They could have just put it to sea. They could have
dump it.
They could have dumped it. Could have done any number of things. They decided, you know what we're going to do?
What?
We're going to arrange all of these bags in the shapes of the letters of our town. L, a giant L, a giant I, a giant C, and a giant E.
5
in the
ton
town
letters.
Square, and we'll light it all on fire.
Are you kidding me?
20 tons. Didn't stick it all, didn't find an incinerator to put it in. They just put it out in the open and lit it up. Anyway, the air was thick with weed smoke for 5 days in this town.
20 tons, yeah.
Residents had to keep their windows closed. People were afraid to go outside because the ones who did were stoned to the gills.
Oh, my God.
Truly. An entire town of stoners is what they wanted to say, weed is bad for you, we're going to destroy it. They got everybody just absolutely cooked.
And they got the whole town high, and they didn't even have to host a music festival?
Amazing.
That's another level of secondhand smoke.
Man, can you imagine being the guy that's running like the little snack bar in town when this is happening?
I would have.
You're open 247, man.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to see footage of people walking around, just not even because I'm sure I don't know how big this town is. It's not a big place. It's a 25,000 to 30,000 people, so that's about the size of the town I grew up in.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
like
not
a suburb
tiny.
Here. It's not tiny, but it's I would think if there's 25,000 people there, I bet a solid third of them have never been stoned.
Yeah, you've got to explain contact highs to grandma. This is real awkward for some people.
If you've ever seen somebody with a contact high who didn't know what was happening, it's pretty funny. It's good shtick. It really is. You doing okay over there? Yeah, I don't know. I just feel kind of... Wow, what was I saying? What is that? Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. I've experienced that myself.
Feels a little dry.
God, it's the best.
Bloodshot eyes.
Yeah. So anyway, 20 tons burned. I just love the fact that they put it in giant letters to spell out the town name.
What a gesture. It's a grand gesture.
That's good
show
stuff.
Of force.
The Turkish Barney Fife on the scene successfully with that one.
God.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Good Thursday morning. It is May the 8th. I'm feeling Minnesota. Paul Fletcher, what's happening?
Roughly 70 years ago, a bucket biologist introduced walleye into parts of the Pacific Northwest. And the species has made their way to the Snake River in Idaho. Now, the state's Department of Fish and Game wants to rid the area of what they call big toothy predators because of their threat to the local salmon population.
What?
Asking,
They don't like our walleye?
asking for help from anglers and requesting that they not release any walleye they catch, but kill, take a photo, and contact Idaho State biologists. So while we're here gearing up for the fishing opener, where close eyes will be kept on daily bag limits, out west, it's literally the Wild West.
Man.
So if you can afford a plane ticket and you want a bunch of walleye,
You can go today.
yeah.
Wow,
You don't
fair
have to wait
enough.
for the opener on Saturday.
And by the way, I didn't know what this was. Maybe you guys do, but a bucket biologist is a derogatory term for individuals, often anglers, who illegally move fish from one body of water to another. So this is not somebody that was authorized to do this. They were just screwing around.
Not cool.
Not cool at all, according to the people in Idaho.
I mean, unless you want to catch 25-inch walleye, which I think some dude did out there.
All day, every day, pretty much, yeah. And keep it. Take it home and eat it. Travelers passing through the Twin Cities airport on the first day of real ID requirements experienced minimal wait times and a positive atmosphere. Get this. Most travelers had real ID compliant driver's licenses or passports. And get this, this is the most astounding of them all. No one attempting to use a standard license. The Transportation Security Administration has workarounds for those without real ID, but travelers may face extra screening and potential delays. As we've said, it remains uncertain how long these workarounds will be offered, though. So, at the end of the day, as we've been saying for weeks, go get a real ID.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Listen, we live someplace where 8 hours is considered driving distance,
That's
so
right.
I feel like we'll probably skate through this pretty easily.
Absolutely.
Very good point.
There's a massive Beatles film project taking shape. Sam Mendes has now been signed on to direct the Beatles biopic project. 4 guys have been cast to play the Beatles, except they'll each be playing their respective character across 4 films. That's right. Each of them is going to get their respective film about each member of the band.
One film per
movie.
Beatle.
Okay.
Yes.
The focal point of one movie will be Paul. The focal point of the next is John, George, and Ring. They all get their own movie.
All with the same actors. It'll all be a collaborative effort. It's like a pointed thing. Each member will get their own film, like you just said. It's being called The Beatles, a 4-film cinematic event, and I cannot express how all in I am on this. I love this creativity, the idea of this. They're essentially creating a cinematic universe around these 4 guys. It's going to be amazing. The 4 films are set to be released in April of 2028. Marking the first authorized biopic of the Beatles.
Well, I mean, it's been 5 years since the band broke up. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 55 years.
Right.
I love a lot of bands, and there's no other band that's ever existed that would spawn anything close to this level of content. Like, the Get Back documentary still blows my mind that not just me, who's a Beatles dork, my kids watched all 8 hours of that They got in, it sucked them in. They couldn't stop watching it.
Really?
There's not another band on the planet that anybody would watch 8 hours of them writing songs.
No,
it's just not possible. They're like cartoon characters. Those guys.
I liked episode 3. The other 2 were just band practice, and that bored me to tears.
Okay, all right,
fair enough.
I get it. But by the time they do get up to that rooftop, though, it's like a Marvel film. It's like, oh my God, they're going to go take over the world. It was amazing.
You hate Marvel films, though.
I do.
I find this interesting, though. It says, right, I mean, like, I'm reading this word for word. The 4 films are set to be released in April of 2028, so I guess all 4 are going to be released at the same time, which is, I would thought they would have spaced them out a little bit to try to, they always want to gouge our pockets to the best of their abilities.
Hey, Woodbury, glad to have you with us. Woodbury, Minnesota. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This is Gorman in the Morning, and Rank You Very Much is up right now, baby. We got to do some rankings. We've got to question each other's integrity and intellect and insight because that's how this works. We're going to rank some things. We're going to give you our top 3, and you are welcome to play along. 651-989-ROCK. Text us in your rankings, and here is today's topic. Mother's Day this weekend.
It is.
Isn't that nice?
Yes.
Mother's Day this weekend. Let's discuss the top 3 TV moms of all time.
All right.
How about that?
Yeah, I like it.
651-989-ROCK. Give us your top 3 in order. TV moms. And we'll share our thoughts with you right now. Let's get it kicked off here.
Okay.
Let's start with our number
Number 3.
3s. And Ryder, you are up first.
This one is the only one on my list who I think is actually a good mom, and that would be Joyce Byers from Stranger Things.
Okay, then.
She's trying to go to a different universe to get Will back. She never gives up. She keeps going. She keeps bugging, all the police officers and Hopper and all that. And she's just a thorn in their side, not giving up on bringing this kid home. Got the Christmas lights, everything.
Is this Winona Ryder? Is it Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Minnesota's own Winona Ryder.
I mean, it does kind of take, a mom going to the ends of the earth for her kids to another level because she's going beyond the ends of the earth. She's going to the upside down.
And I'm still entertained. Like, usually when it's some, crying mom on Hallmark, I just give up on that stuff. But,
wow.
Yeah.
I watched the first few episodes of Stranger Things when it first came out.
Oh, my God.
With the kids
brilliant.
And was like, this is pretty good. And then I completely forgot about it. And it still apparently exists. Go figure.
That's true.
Wow. Winona. Coming in.
My 12-year-old is counting the days down to May 31st, the first teaser for season 5. The final season. Yeah.
All right.
It's
fair
massive.
enough.
Wait,
it's
the
awesome,
first
too.
teaser, do we know when the first episode actually comes out?
It's sounding like October-ish.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be over 4th of July. Bummer.
No,
Okay.
definitely not.
And the only other thing I know about Stranger Things is didn't the girl, the main girl, she just married Bon Jovi's kid, right?
She did. And
Yeah.
I guess bringing him, getting him closer to the common people because she goes to Target to buy socks and he goes to some fancy boutique store.
Gucci.
So, yes.
See? You can always trust the Brits to keep it real.
That's right. Millie Bobby Brown.
All right, that's it.
Yep.
So, Fletcher, you're number 3 TV mom.
It's a mom I grew up watching in our household. This was appointment television for the entire family.
Okay.
She broke the stereotypes of a black mom back in the day. Mm-hmm. She was a lawyer, mother of 5, raised well-adjusted humans. My number 3 is Claire Huxtable.
Wow.
Wait,
Claire Huxtable.
There were 5 Huxtable kids?
There were.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to
Theo.
say 3. Okay.
There was Theo, and there was Rudy, and then there was the other ones.
I do it like the intro to the Gilligan's Island. It's Lisa Bonet and the rest. I don't need their names. I don't care.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
She crushed it, man. She
sure did.
Yeah, she was
and all the while married to a serial rapist named Bill Cosby. Go figure.
Yeah.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yes.
She couldn't keep that under control, but everything else, she did pretty darn good.
My number 3, as cliche as it is, I have to just be honest. I mean, I grew up, talk about appointment television. It was every day, several times a day. I'm just going right to Carol Brady, right out of the gate. Just got to do it. I mean, that was my second mom.
Okay.
I saw myself as a member of the Brady family. 3 girls on her own, effortlessly adopts 3 boys.
Yes.
By the second episode, they're just like they've been together forever.
I mean,
I've seen every episode of the Brady Bunch so many times. To this day, if you put one on, I will just start quoting along with the script. I know all the lines. It's ridiculous. And think about this. We still don't really know what happened to her first husband. What happened to the dad of those 3 girls?
it was too tragic to bring up, Steve.
Sherwood Schwartz said, I think she needs to be a divorcee. The network was like, no, better for her to be a widow. And they butted heads over it, so it just never comes out. They just left it alone.
I would have liked it if she was maybe a murderer.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
That would have been real fun.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
That would have made the Brady Bunch a whole different show.
And let's not kid ourselves either. She looked pretty damn good in that Cleopatra costume.
Oh, okay.
Flo still could. Florence could, she could bring out the pow when she needed to.
The only issue with Carol Brady is she had help from Alice, but outside of that, she still did a pretty good job.
I was just going to mention that. Do you think she would have been the same mom without Alice?
No.
I don't care. You know what I mean? It's fine. Okay. Whatever. The whole group of them. Just bring them on over.
I'm trying to find things to nitpick. In all reality, I was very seriously considered her for my list. So I can't really, as much as I want to combat you, I cannot.
I mean, I'm too young for, Ozzie and Harriet and all that, father knows best and that crap. So Carol's my TV mom. Despite the fact that my nickname was Beaver, I did not go with Barbara Billingsley from Leave It to Beaver.
I was waiting for a June Cleaver drop.
Now, boy, what a turn in Airplane, huh? Remember how blown away the world was when June Cleaver turned up an airplane to speak jive? A great moment in cinematic history. All right, number 2 on our list. Ryder, who you got?
Gemma Taylor from Sons of Anarchy.
Okay, another show I have been told by people I trust I need to watch. I've never seen it.
Never
It's
seen
like
it.
it's a knockoff of Hamlet. So it's like if you don't ever want to watch that stupid play, this will make it fun.
Biker Hamlet.
It's Biker Hamlet. So,
Nice.
yes, so she is the Gertrude character and just as crafty and cold.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I that's so funny.
Yeah.
I've never known that about Sons of Anarchy. I didn't know it was that was the setup of the show. I've just been told, oh man, you got to see it. You got to see it.
Right.
All right, fair enough.
I think that maybe the first 3 or 4 seasons are better than the back half.
Right.
You know, because you stray away from Hamlet.
Well, Hamlet's only so long. Yeah. Okay. All right. And what was the character's name?
Gemma Taylor.
Gemma Taylor.
Moreau, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah.
Fletcher, who you got number 2?
Equally parts sharp and sassy as hell, but also a fantastic mom to the kids and their friends, Sophia from the Golden Girls.
Okay.
I enjoy it.
Wow.
Is Sophia's snarky pick?
Dude,
Yeah.
she was like,
Wow.
and I always thought it fascinating as a younger child, a younger human, that she was always she's the youngest of the cast, which is interesting. But they did her up to make her look like a great grandma, pretty much. And man, she was on fire most of
I'm
the time.
still learning new things every day.
Yeah,
Had no idea.
When my dad told me that Sophia was younger than the rest of the mind literally
Yeah,
blown.
Wow.
yeah. It's like, and this isn't even the day and age of great special effects or
No.
makeup. But they made her look like an old bat. That's for sure. Man, was she on fire all the time, though.
All right, fair enough.
Who you got,
What do you
Steve?
got? Yeah.
My number 2?
Yeah.
A more recent show for me. I'm going Tammy Taylor, Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
The coach's wife.
Coach's wife.
Super insightful, empathetic, the surrogate mom and caregiver to just about every kid in the whole damn town. All while being the greatest mom ever to her own teenage daughter, then having the late-in-life surprise baby. And that's all great. The truth of the matter is simply this. I'd watch outtakes of Connie Britton getting a root canal. I don't care. You put her on the screen, and I'm going to go, I'm going to be watching this now.
She's not unattractive, is what you're saying.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
I am so down with Tammy Taylor. Yeah.
I would love to combat you, but once again, I cannot. I am rendered speechless.
Pretty fantastic.
Solid effort. Good. That's a good number 2.
All right, here's some good text. Okay, text coming in right now
Nice.
from someone texted in number 3, Gemma Taylor.
Wow.
Damn.
Got a
Yes.
Gemma Taylor. Number 2, Carol Brady.
Nice.
And then we got a number 1, and it may still end up on one of our lists. We don't know. Kitty Foreman, that 70s show.
I contemplated putting
Did
Kitty
you
on
really?
my list, but she is not there.
Okay, all right, good to know. 651-989-ROCK. We are rank you very much, TV moms for Mother's Day. We got to get to our numero unos on the top of our lists here. A lot of texts have come in, 651-989-ROCK. A lot of Kitty Foremans, man. She's rolling up the hit parade. She's going to the top of the charts with a bullet.
My wife
She
pushed.
stayed out of the basement and let them have fun.
Yeah, that's it.
My wife pushed hard for this to be on my list, but I've never watched that show, so I couldn't do it.
Oh, fair enough. All right, you could have lied. We wouldn't have known.
I realize that, but this is a game of integrity. If we don't have our integrity when we're ranking things that really don't ultimately matter, then what really are we doing?
That's a very good point. All right, Ryder, your number 1 TV mom. Who is it?
And why are there donuts everywhere?
Lana did that.
Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants.
Jessica Walters as Mallory Archer.
Wow.
Secret Spy, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Wow.
Raised another secret spy. Just chef's kiss.
I'm flying blind here.
Yeah, me too.
You guys
Completely.
don't know well,
You know what, though? I totally agree.
What's the show?
Archer.
Yeah,
Mallory Archer.
Everybody tells me I've got to see it, and it's Jessica Walters, near and dear to my heart, as you'll hear in a moment. That's fantastic. Another recommendation that and BoJack Horseman. Never seen either one.
Oh,
and
man. I'm trying to get into BoJack Horseman.
People tell me all the time I got to get on board.
Well, you know what? I can get behind. I'm flying blind as well, but I can get behind the motherly advice in that clip.
Yeah.
Do you want ants? Like I tell that to my daughters all the time.
That's the only radio safe clip of Mallory Archer, pretty much.
Okay. Very good. All right. I like that list a lot. Number 1 for you, Fletch.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna make you happy with this number 1 pick, y'all.
There it is.
My favorite one is when she's disappointed in somebody and she goes, y'all. Yeah, I mean she was a mom to everybody in Dylan.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
by the way, you of all of her accolades, you left out 2, principal and guidance counselor. I mean,
Sure.
what didn't Tammy Taylor do? Tammy Taylor is the ultimate mom.
She's the best. I was on a flight with her once, with Connie Britton.
Oh, yeah?
And here's the weird thing about her. She's not very photogenic because in person she was like even more attractive, if
I
you
don't know
can
how that's
imagine
possible.
such a thing. I was like, oh my God, this is unfair.
So if she's a 9
Wait a minute. The camera isn't your friend? Because you look pretty damn good on TV.
So if she's a 9 or a 10 on TV, then she's a 15 in person? Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely fantastic. All right, my number one. This is our second Jessica Walter of the list. You damn straight. Lucille Bluth.
I'll be in the hospital bar.
Oh, my God.
There isn't a hospital bar, Mother.
This is why people hate hospitals.
There it is. Lucille Bluth from Arrested Development. Absolutely. Not only my favorite TV mom, possibly my favorite TV character.
Oh, dude. So, I contemplated putting her on my list.
Unbelievable.
I was like, can I do 2 Jessica Walters? And I was like, I probably can't.
The very first episode, her line, when she says, the homosexuals are so dramatic and flamboyant, it makes me want to set myself on fire. I was like, oh my God, this is the funniest character that's ever been written. I want to cry so bad, but I don't think I can spare the moisture. Come on, man. It gets no better.
Is the first season of that show, I mean, it's got to be top 5 all time. Of TV seasons. It's genius.
Absolutely incredible. So fantastic. A lot of on the text line. Oh, I gave this a thought. Carrie just said June Cleaver, Carol Brady, number 1. Morticia Adams, very sexy.
That's a good
throwing
one.
in a goth mom right there would have been.
That's a good one.
I considered it. And then our first Marge Simpson has entered the chat line.
Just the things she has to put up with.
Tom wrote, I like Tom's whole list. Jane Jetson, Betty Rubble, Marge Simpson. 3 for 3. Animated moms.
Here's a wholesome mom list. Carol Seaver, number 3. Elise Keaton from Family Ties, number 2. And Carol Brady, number 1. I mean, it doesn't get much more wholesome than those 3 right there.
That's very, very true. All right, I'm feeling Minnesota. That was a hell of a rankings. I enjoyed every bit of that.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Nirvana, an iconic band, an all-timer. Sure. But, you don't hear a lot of Nirvana at the ball games. I mean, it's not like you don't hear it that often, like say, Welcome to the Jungle. That intro, that guitar intro, I've heard it at football games, I've heard it at baseball games, I've heard it at basketball games, I've heard it at soccer games, I've heard it at hockey games. I mean, if you want to get a whole bunch of people to go like, oh, something's about to go down, it doesn't work the same with Smells Like Teen Spirit or any Nirvana.
I'm struggling to think of a Nirvana song I would want to play, and I freaking love them so much.
I know. It's a weird line. Like, what song, why does one band not translate to that vibe where another one does? It's interesting to think about.
It's all about the arena rock and it being, the music, the chord structure, whatever it is that makes it sound massive. You know what I mean? Nirvana kind of always strived to remain smaller. You know what I mean? Like it more of a.
They wrote a crap ton of pop songs.
Well, I know they did, but the mix, the sound to me it just didn't. I mean, you can hear a difference between Smells Like Teen Spirit and Welcome to the Jungle that works in an arena.
You put in an arena for sure.
Foo Fighters could.
Foo Fighters do for sure.
And
Smells Like Teen Spirit, I can say firsthand, absolutely works in a hockey arena.
If you are going to get an arena of people fired up, let's say we're putting you in the booth. What song you want to play at tip-off or puck drop or kickoff, whatever? Yeah, what's the one? 651-989-ROCK. What's the one song that you're gonna let her loose and let the people give a little insight into you and what you think is going to work for them? It's an interesting concept. I'm curious for your thoughts. 651-989-ROCK. What song are you going to play to get the crowd going before a big ball game or at the beginning of a big ball game or during a lull in a big ball game? What's the stadium or arena rock song that always works? I think probably I don't know this. I'm just going to say I would imagine the most played for the last 40 years is We Will Rock You. Just like,
oh yeah.
But Brian May wrote that specifically to get Queen fans to be, he goes,
participate.
They love to sing along. I want to give them even more to do. Stomp, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap.
Yep.
At no point did he think in 1979 or 77, whenever he wrote it, like, oh, and this will translate to American sporting events too. I mean, what a lucky break that turned out to be. Similarly, of the last 25 years, I think it's fairly safe to say the ultimate arena song of this century is Seven Nation Army. That's played around the world.
Yeah.
Soccer stadiums everywhere. I mean, maybe not as big in the States generally, but it's like the oasis of music influence. You go to see a soccer game anywhere on planet Earth outside of America, and the entire crowd is chanting that riff right there. It's mind-boggling how much this song it's a simple, straight beat, repetitive riff. That's all it takes, I guess. But so many great songs never make they don't make the leap.
Right.
But Paul Fletcher, you are a man who sits at sporting events and makes these very decisions. Mm-hmm. What has your years of research led you to believe?
Actually, I would say a couple of texters and Ryder got it right. Thunderstruck is the ultimate. I'm looking at it from drop of a puck in a hockey arena.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm not taking in any individual or local parameters, just in general.
Yeah.
You're at a sporting event and you're getting ready to kick it off. It's perfect. However, there's another one that's ascending quickly.
Okay.
And that is Battle Cry by your buddy Jack White. It's a song
really?
I think that he wrote for the purpose of this, much like Brian May to a certain extent. I'm getting goosebumps I'm getting shivers down my spine thinking about a puck drop with that song. It's unbelievable.
Really?
For tonight, though, specific to the Wolves, leading up to tip-off.
Okay.
Let's Go Crazy by Prince.
Oh, that would be good. That would certainly
It's
fit.
totally in line with everything. Yeah, I think in my opinion, that's a no-brainer. But I'm telling you, Battle Cry is, again, I'm getting shivers down my spine just saying it. It's so good.
I learn a lot about myself. This is why I would never be good at this, because if I were at Target Center tonight, I would, of course, worried about that Game 1 loss. I'd go with Los Lobos, Will the Wolf Survive? Very, very, it would just kill the mood entirely. Any momentum the team felt after warm-ups would be dead, and they'd look at me and say, why is Gorman up here? See, so probably for the best that I leave it to the pros.
You kick this song directly to where the guitars kick in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the Target Center is going to... Although this part in Minnesota, this might work.
Yeah, it'll work.
The
build-up, it'd be fantastic. Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
It is Thursday, May the 8th of the year 2025. Paul Fletcher, I'm feeling Minnesota. What in the heck is happening out there?
Well, I'll tell you what's happening. There's going to be some fishing happening here and out west. Roughly 70 years ago, a bucket biologist, who's essentially just a rogue guy who decided to transfer some fish from one body of water to another that he shouldn't have. He introduced walleye into parts of the Pacific Northwest, and the species has made their way to the Snake River in Idaho.
Okay.
And the people in Idaho don't like that so much. The state's Department of Fish and Game wants to rid the area of what they call big toothy predators, a.k.a. walleye, because of their threat to the local salmon population.
They just haven't gotten to know them well enough. Yeah. We know the walleye are nice guys.
Absolutely. And they taste delightful.
Threatening salmon, though, that's going to get you in trouble.
Out in them parts it will, that's for sure. They're asking for help from anglers and requesting them to not release any walleye they catch, but rather take a photo and contact Idaho state biologists. It's almost like a mugshot, I guess.
Okay.
So while we gear up for fishing opener here, you might want to head out west, because it's the wild, wild west. You can catch and keep as many as you want. No bag limits.
They just need my dad's beer-battered walleye recipe.
That's all it's going to take.
On.
Or my Uncle Dwayne's. His is outstanding as well.
Salmon shaman. Have you heard what Ryder's dad does with these fish?
Man.
Come on.
Yeah.
Travelers passing through the Twin Cities airport on the first day of Real ID requirements, which was yesterday, experienced, get this, minimal wait times and a positive atmosphere.
Nice.
Most travelers had Real ID compliant driver's license or passports, with no one attempting to use a standard license. How about that?
Wow. Okay.
Transportation Security Administration has workarounds for those without the Real ID, so they are going to accommodate you, but who knows how long those workarounds are going to last, number one. Number two, you're going to do extra screenings. You're going to be in a different line. You're going to find delays, et cetera, so just get the Real ID.
I think the lesson here is that 20-plus years of sporadic messaging actually works.
It sounds like it.
Wow.
There is a massive Beatles film project coming, and it's starting to take shape. They've cast the characters, and now they've assigned Sam Mendes the task of directing not one, but 4 Beatles biopics. In fact, the 4 guys have been cast to play the Beatles, except they'll each be playing their respective character across the 4 films, each about their specific member of the band. Yes, each member going to get their own film in this Beatles, quote, a 4-film cinematic event. The 4 films are set to be released in April of 2028, and this also marks the first authorized biopic of the Beatles.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, but, if you're going to do a biopic of the Beatles, you might as well do 4 of them.
I guess that's what you got to do. Sam Mendes did 1917, correct?
Yeah, he did American Beauty.
I know. I know that. Oh. I mean, that's the one. That's the World War I. It looks like it's all one shot.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He
all
did
right.
Skyfall, one of the best Bond of recent memory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. American Beauty was probably the first one I heard. First one of his I saw. Okay. All right. I'll allow it.
Go ahead.
Wonderful. We're hinging on your approval. That's for sure.
Listen, I don't take this responsibility lightly.
Exactly.
Go for it, Sammy.
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Well, I can tell you what's going on in the world today. If you want to talk about feeling Minnesota, two things. 12-10 first pitch for the Twins and the Orioles.
Nice.
Twins looking for their, wait for it, 5th in a row.
No way, that's not possible.
They're streaking. They're
awesome.
streaking. This is the second 4-game winning streak in the last couple weeks. They're starting to play some absolutely fine, acceptable baseball is what it looks like. And the Orioles, you could not say the same for. Looking just like a grease fire out there. Tonight at 7:30, the Timberwolves tip off Game 2 against the Golden State Warriors, who will be without Steph Curry. Not just for this game, but apparently for games 3 and 4 at least as well.
Wow.
Fellas,
Ouch.
the universe is suggesting it's time to put the Warriors to sleep. Mm-hmm. You know how Steph loves to hit those fourth quarter threes and do the go to sleep thing? Mm-hmm. Let's do that to the franchise from the Bay Area. What do you say, fellas? Let's get out early. Let's put our foot on their throat and let's leave it there.
Put a beat down on Jimmy Buckets. That's what I'm saying.
That would be a lovely result. I think we could all agree on that. And the Minnesota Frost, I should say, kicked off their championship defense in the postseason with a loss to the Toronto Scepters last night, 3-2. They will be playing Game 3 at the X on Sunday, an afternoon puck drop, I believe.
5 o'clock, so late
5
afternoon.
o'clock?
Yeah,
that'll work. All right, and
hopefully,
hopefully by then they've tied the series up, and we're looking to take an advantage over the Toronto Scepters. Defending champion, Minnesota Frost. It's nice to say that, defending champion.
It'll be a party at the X on Sunday. Come out. If you haven't checked out women's hockey yet, I'm telling you, it's a blast.
Take your mom.
There you go.
Mother's Day.
Of course.
Yes.
Apple Valley. Glad to have you with us this morning. Apple Valley, Minnesota. I mean, just with a name like that, it's got to be good.
That's
right? Is that their slogan?
Yes.
Apple Valley with a name like this, it's got to be good?
Yeah. They held their first town meeting in 1858, by the way.
Is that true?
Yep.
And you know that because?
Because I looked it up. There's no way I retain that level of information.
Man.
Yeah, first town meeting, 1858.
What do you think we should call this area? There's an apple tree over in that valley. All right.
Yeah, well, they were the Lebanon Township, and then they changed it to Apple Valley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably a good call. I feel like Lakeville did the same thing. Hey, what do you think we call us? Oh, well, there's a lake there, bud.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Well, we're coming to you from Radioville right here, so that's always fun. Always looking for band names. Let me just go ahead and reiterate.
Okay.
I need a band name. By the way, I've just worked myself into another band this week. We haven't yet rehearsed or don't have any gigs booked, but it's coming. I think that's my 6th band I've been in the last 3 years.
Tough to be a drummer, isn't it?
It's great. It's good stuff, man. You know, people just like a good solid backbeat. But I need now yet another band name.
Oh,
and I will say. The great band names, the first time you hear them, you're like, wait, what? And then the third time you hear it, you're like, that's a cool name. And there is no greater example, in my opinion, than Depeche Mode.
Gorman in the morning. Coming right back. 92 KQRS. Streaming from 92KQRS.com. Gorman in the morning is back. 92 KQRS.
Gorman in the morning on Minnesota's 92 KQRS. Hey, in case you hadn't heard, they're trying to come up with a new pope over there in Rome. Mm-hmm. Vatican City, the Conclave. The Conclave is up and running. They're voting regularly. They're putting the black smoke out. They've yet to come up with a new pope. Yesterday on CBS, while discussing this very thing, one of the anchors had an interesting way of, describing what it was like inside the conclave.
The one thing we know they're not doing is checking Instagram because their devices have all been confiscated.
I believe the kids call it raw dogging it if you're going to go through a long period of time with no electronic device.
Oh, right.
Well, the kids might call that raw dogging.
That's how Urban Dictionary says.
We call something else raw dogging. Honestly, I'm surprised to hear that come out of the man's mouth. I believe the kids call that an amorous conclave. Congress. I mean, he could have gone in a lot of different directions there. He was just dying to get the raw dog out.
Yeah.
He should have followed it up with, they're raw dogging the long and hard process.
I believe the kids call it riding St. George. I mean, there's, any of these. Good God.
Riding St. George.
I believe the kids call that an act of darkness. I mean, go like straight to raw dogging.
Yeah,
You got to be a little
and
more
just
subtle.
In the booth, I'm sure they were pulling their hair out. Come on, man. I get that it's live and funny stuff happens, but dude.
I think the Vatican PR slid that one to him to get some viral press going.
The devices have all been confiscated. I believe the kids call that making the double-backed beast. God, jeez. What is the world coming to?
Boxing the clown.
Boxing the clown. That one works. One thing you need to do, and there's no raw dogging involved in this, you got to get on board with the KQ's bestest. Yeah. So many categories. We want to find out what is the best all sorts of stuff here in the area. Let's talk best sandwich shop.
I think controversial because we don't have enough good sandwich places, in my opinion.
Wow.
Well, on the text line, we're already getting not only shops, but specific sandwiches. This text, best sandwich in town is at the 1029, the braised lamb po' boy.
1029 is not a sandwich shop, though.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
a dive bar.
That's the best sandwich, however.
Okay.
See, they're giving sandwiches. So we're talking about, on this particular vote, the best sandwich shop. I was going to go straight to my local favorite, local to where I live, right around the corner from here, Crammer Chuck's. I like everything on the menu. I go in there, I strap on a feed bag, I gain weight every minute I'm in the building. It's just, I can't stop eating it. Now, they're not listed as one of our best sandwich shops. They are, however, on the list for best Reuben.
Yes.
And they will get my vote. Every sandwich I've had there. But how about this? Nelson's Cheese and Deli in St. Paul. Never been.
Really, it's so close to work. They won the best sandwich shop last year. They're my go-to spot. Very much would
Educate
recommend
me.
it.
Where is it?
It's right over by the fairgrounds. So they shut down during the fair because it's so crazy. But yeah, only open Monday through Friday from 10 to 2.
Oh, no.
Super tasty.
Oh, okay. All right. That's my kind of spot. I like that. Marty's Deli in Northeast. I know Marty's. I've been there. I've worked through that menu. Very strong. Very strong.
You've worked through the menu, huh?
Yeah,
Do you have a top pick?
What is it called? Yeah, there's one.
Got
it's
the meat on it?
It's
some cheese.
The Raffi Luigi. That's it.
Okay, what's on that?
It's like salami, prosciutto, marinated peppers. It's like, it's an Italian vibe going.
All right.
They've also got the Uncle Pete is also highly recommended. That's their basic bacon. It's a very fancy expanded BLT. Simply put.
There we go.
Yeah, very strong stuff right there. What sandwich shop for you?
It's not on the list, and unless I'm miscategorizing this, I feel like maybe it's not a sandwich shop, but I feel it's criminal that Cecil's in St. Paul isn't on this. It's on Cleveland Ave, the best pastrami on the planet.
I've been to Cecil's. We just stumbled upon it one day and went in there. Yeah, it was great.
Brilliant. I mean, I get the pastrami and schmear, they like to call it. It's hot, cream cheese, onions. On caraway, I think is the type of bread that they have. But I mean, they have a whole section on the menu of Reubens.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's criminal.
They are in for best Reuben, and I know they've been on best sandwich shop in the past, but just didn't make it this year.
All right, 92 KQRS. Go vote and go vote often if you want. We're going to be laying all these results on you a week from Monday is when we're going to make that determination. We'll be passing out blue ribbons left and right. All right. It's time for the last word. Here's a text from earlier in the show.
Okay.
My wife's parents found her brother's weed and decided to throw it in the burn barrel on a warm day. Okay. The windows in the high school across the street were all open. Everyone at school figured out pretty quickly who got busted with weed.
These parents didn't know how weed works?
I guess they did not.
And that student's cool credit went through the roof.
Oh, my God. Street cred for days. If you want to hear all about a town in Turkey where literally everybody in town got high off of a giant weed burn, well, then you might want to check out today's Gorman in the Morning podcast. You can find Gorman in the Morning anywhere you listen, anytime you want. That podcast is sponsored by Devani's Pizza and Hot Hoagies. Paul Fletcher, you're sticking around. What do you got?
We're going to go commercial free right around 11:50. I got Heart tickets once again at 12:30 and just after 10. I got a song written by a 14-year-old named Charles Thompson. He goes by a different name now, but I'll explain.
All right. Sounds very good. Tomorrow on this show, Sex Pistols tickets, fishing guide Jeremiah Johnson will be with us for Ask Me Anything AMA Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk fishing open tomorrow. All right.
Gorman in the Morning is also Gorman on the go. Get the 92 KQRS app and stream live or catch the Gorman in the Morning podcast anytime. 92 KQRS.